Hi everyone, it is Sahara. Today I'm going to be sharing with you what sold for me on Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay in the first week of June 2023. I'm so excited to get into the sales for the week, but if you're new here, let me just share with you a little bit about me and my channel. I'm a stay-at-home mom and I'm also a reseller. So for the past probably about going on a year and a half now almost, I have been like full-time reselling thrift store finds, mostly clothes and shoes online to help bring in an income while being a stay-at-home mom. And so this has been a huge blessing to me and my family. And I want to share that blessing with other families, other individuals, other stay-at-home moms, and show them the opportunity that is out there for them to make an income from home while taking care of their own children and saving on childcare costs because they are so expensive. So yeah, that's kind of the motivation for me behind my channel and why I'm here and why I'm sharing this stuff. It's not just to like brag or something. It's truly to help other resellers and to help people who want to get into reselling and just start to avoid making the mistakes that I made when I first started reselling. So without further ado, let's get right into the what sold video. Okay, so to start off this what sold video, the first item is this Ralph Lauren maxi skirt. I have actually sold two of these in the last week. And so I got the first one at the bins and it sold super fast. And when I checked the comps, I was really surprised at the comps. Usually I struggle with selling skirts and I feel like they're one of the longest sitting items for me, so I kind of avoid them. But when I came across the Ralph Lauren one, I think it was like in a size large, I decided to look it up and they have a really good sell-through rate. I believe it's over 100% right now for the maxi skirts by Ralph Lauren. So I think I'm going to start when I go to the regular thrift store, just going through the skirt aisle and only looking at the maxi skirts and looking for brands like Ralph Lauren or this particular brand and seeing if I can find them. Because I think like the shorter skirts don't do quite as well, but I think maxi skirts may do better in general. So I'm going to be testing that out. But anyways, this sold for $40 and it was a bins pickup. So that's pretty awesome. This J Jill 100% linen extra large dress. This has been listed for probably about 3 weeks to a month now. It's had a lot of interest and I probably could have held out and got my full asking price, but I was just really wanted it to sell quickly, so I accepted an offer for $25 and it also came from the bins. So at my bins, my cost of goods is usually around like $1, maybe $1.25, $1.50 on days that I don't get as much, because at my Goodwill bins outlet store, once you hit 25 pounds, you get a discount of about 50 cents a pound, and that really does make a big difference in your cost of goods. Okay, the next item was this new softer surroundings tunic top. The outer was 100% silk, super beautiful. I got this for $5.99, I believe, at my regular Goodwill, and it sold for $30 on eBay. And that sold in probably 2 weeks. The next item was a really cool bins find. It was this really pretty 100% silk peacock feather print jacket. I really thought this would sell faster, but it has been sitting for probably about 4 to 5 months, I want to say. That's just a guess. I got an offer for it for $24 and I happily accepted because I just want to get it moving. Pretty much like if I have jackets and sweaters and stuff that have been sitting since like last winter, basically, I will probably just accept almost any reasonable offer on them while it's still in the summer, because I'd love to move those pieces before this fall and winter comes, because I don't know. I probably shouldn't pick up as many sweaters and jackets as I do, but when I see really nice ones at the bins for so cheap, I can't say no. So even though it's summer and barely anyone is buying that stuff, I've still been picking up. So I'm just happy to move the ones that have been sitting for longer. All right. This next top was by the brand Babe. It was 100% silk outer, I believe, and this had like Y2K vibes for sure. Definitely not like a style I would have picked up a year or two ago, before I really knew what to look for as far as Y2K style and stuff goes. But now, right now, these kind of styles are performing really well, especially like if they have the silk. That's definitely something that was very popular in the early 2000s. So this actually sold on an offer for $17 and it was listed for probably around a month. Okay, the next item was this athletic dress. I was super happy this sold for my full asking price of $30. I got this from my regular Goodwill, I believe, so I paid $7.99 for it. It's a really pretty dress, and I've just had a lot of luck lately in the past couple weeks with athletic dresses selling. I've heard that athletic dresses in general are performing really well lately, so I think maybe that's why. So definitely keep your eye out for athletic dresses and any other like athletic dresses by good brands. I would probably be picking up right now. Okay, the next item was an Oh My Gauze like log and look top. I absolutely love this brand. I find it pretty often where I am in South Florida because the brand is based out of Florida. Let me know where you live and if you ever find this, if you ever see it. For a long time, I didn't know this was a good brand, but it is an amazing brand. It has an amazing sell-through rate, over 100%. And you can usually get $20 to $30 for like average pieces, and the sizing is kind of like Chico's or something. Like this was a size 2, which is a large, but the bigger size you find the better, obviously. In like the longer, more log and looky tunics and pants and stuff can do even better. All right, the next item was a new to me brand, a new men's brand I learned. I've been trying to get more into learning good menswear brands and stuff, so I was really excited that I found this one. It's a good brand and it sold like in less than a week for me. I paid $5.19 for this, I believe, at a regular Goodwill. The brand, by the way, is Rod and Gun. Just so you know, I actually didn't take a close up of the tag here, which I usually do. But yeah, well, let me zoom in. Okay, so it's by Rod and Gun and it's sold for $24 in less than a week. The next item is some shoes that I got in my ThredUp Rescue shoe box. If you watched the unboxing, you'd remember that. This brand actually had like 150% sell-through rate for this particular style. I had never picked up these Alukai sandals before. I do see them at the bins though, so I'm definitely going to start picking them up. They sold in just a couple of days on an offer for $28. And my cost of goods for the ThredUp box was $5.33 a pair. So I will definitely be probably getting another box when they have them again, and I will definitely be keeping an eye out for this brand. And I posted my first shoebox that I got, but I got a second one the same day, and I opened it, and it was, oh my gosh, spoiler alert, it was so much better than the first box. So if you guys saw that video, if you liked it, if you're just interested in seeing what I got in the second ThredUp shoebox, make sure you subscribe because I will be uploading that video this weekend. Okay, the next item was this Bryn Walker oversized like cardigan, super pretty. I pretty much always pick up this brand. Usually I found like linen pieces by them, but I saw this and it was made out of like modal. It was really nice quality material, super long, heavy piece. I figured it was worth getting. And I think I took an offer on it. I'm not sure. I think it sold for more like $35 to $40. I wish it would tell you that price here. But yeah, so definitely keep an eye out for this brand. I pretty much always pick it up. For me, this piece came from the bins. Okay, so basically, this piece came from an estate lot, you could call it. One of my husband's customers, his wife recently passed away, and he very generously donated all of her clothing and her jewelry collection to us. It was a huge blessing for us for sure. And as I was going through it, I came across this Jacqueline Kennedy replica bracelet and I listed it and it sold in just a couple of hours for $39 is the offer I accepted on it. This, I don't know if you can see, let's see, but this was the marking that I looked up. And so if you ever find like this would be in the category of costume jewelry. costume jewelry lots are sold often at like estate sales and stuff, and they're basically just any like jewelry and vintage jewelry the person had, I believe, that is not like gold or silver. And so I believe this bracelet was gold plated, but like that's not marked on it anywhere. So this would usually be described as costume jewelry. And by using Google Photos and by also just typing in the specific markings that are on the piece of jewelry, you can identify some of those costume jewelry pieces, and depending what they are, they will have some value. So this one, we got it for free, and it sold for $39 in just a couple hours. Like I said, it was so pretty. Personally, I love Jackie Kennedy, so I thought this was such a cool idea and such a cool line of jewelry. And so, yeah, another thing I wanted to add is basically I got so much stuff from that estate lot that I will be very busy listing that for the next week or so. And so I definitely will not be thrifting. So no thrift hauls coming from me anytime soon, but I will probably share some more what sold and maybe just some other reselling content videos, like brands to look for, and if there's anything specific you'd like me to do video on while I'm not doing thrift hauls in the next week or so, let me know. Alright, the next item was the other Ralph Lauren skirt that I got from the bins. I found these on 2 separate days, so I don't know, maybe these have been around all along and I just ignored them, because when I first started reselling, I picked up a couple Ralph Lauren pieces. They were probably like not very stylish, small sizes. They didn't perform that great for me. I didn't know how to properly check comps on eBay, so I probably just didn't list them very well to begin with. And so I just thought Ralph Lauren wasn't a good brand for the longest time, because that's essentially what I did as a new reseller. I don't know if any of you can relate to that, but basically I'd pick up like 1 or 2 items in a brand, and if they didn't do well, I'd write off the whole brand. But that's not really how you should determine what is worth picking up or not. I honestly feel like unless it's a really, really low end brand like Walmart or something like that, but even some Walmart things are worth picking up if you get big sizes and stuff and you get a good price on it. So it's just like, I feel like every brand has things that are worth picking up, and it's up to you to research that and figure out what is worth it in the brand. And most of these brands like Ralph Lauren, Chico's, Talbot's, J.Jill, and Taylor, I feel like they seem really oversaturated and they seem like you just want to write off the whole brand, but there are a lot of things in those brands that are worth picking up and that you can make great money on. You just have to figure that out. And the things to look out for are certain styles that perform well in the brand. Like, for example, in this, the maxi skirts by Ralph Lauren perform really well. Or certain materials, larger sizes, plus size pieces, and almost all of those like medium tier mature brands do really well. So you just have to do your research, do trial and error, don't just write the brand off. Go to eBay and maybe search that brand that you feel like giving up on, and search the sold comps, price high to low, and see what is selling for the most in those brands. Okay, end rant. The next item was these Vionic loafers. These were in like new condition. I got these at Plato's Closet actually. I paid $8 for them, and they sold on an offer, I believe, for $33. So a little bit higher cost of goods than I'd like for that level of profit, but they sold in less than a month, and I just couldn't pass them up. I feel like Vionic, if you can find, like, what you'll find most by Vionic are their sandals, but if you can find other things, that's what the logo looks like, by the way, if you can find other things like their boots or their loafers, they tend to do really well. Alright, the next item is some Lululemon running shorts I found at the bins. I don't find Lululemon a lot, but I was happy to find it. I listed them for $25. I got an offer for $21 within just a couple hours, and I accepted it. Probably could have held out and got more for them, but I was happy to flip them so quickly. Alright, next up is a Poshmark sale. I got these Miss Me jeans at my local Goodwill. I paid $5.99, I believe, for them. These were so cute. If you watched my haul, you remember these were my favorite out of the Miss Me jeans I found. And I was hoping someone else would love them as much as I did. And apparently somebody did, because they bought them for $30 on Poshmark in less than a week. The next item was these Merrell women's hiking shoes. I got these at the bins and they sold in probably about 3 weeks for $24. All right, another bins find was these 1 teaspoon jean shorts. I was not familiar with this brand, but apparently they retail for a lot and celebrities like to wear them too, which always tends to like bring a little bit more interest to the brand when celebrities wear it. So these sold in just a week or so for my full asking price of $35. The next item was these Finn Comfort men's sandals. These came from the bins, so we probably paid about $2 for them if you're going by weight. I was trying to see if I had the brand on here. My husband has been helping me with listing photos, so he's doing a pretty good job for sure, but there just might not be all the photos I would usually have. Like I almost always try to get a picture of the sole where the brand is. It looks like the soles on these are lifting out and like they're broken or something, but for this brand, they're actually supposed to be like that. You're supposed to be able to remove the soles easily because they sell new insoles for the shoes. And these shoes actually retail for a lot of money. They are made in Germany and they retail for almost $300, but the resale rate is not quite as good. They do sell pretty good, but they usually sell for only like $30 to $50. I believe I had these listed for a little more and I accepted an offer for $33. Okay, so the next thing to sell, this was a huge bundle. Okay, and it wasn't like there's amazing items in it. The reason it's in my best sales is just because so many items sold, and I sold this huge bundle for $125. And if you look at these items, you can see these were old inventory that I had priced super low just to get it out the door, and I'm crediting this sale to Posture VA. I had just recently finally signed up for Posture VA because I heard that you can use it to automatically relist and delist your items. There is a limit, I believe, of 150 items a day, but you can set it to relist and delist old inventory, and I think that's amazing. So I set it up, I started off, and within just like 2 or 3 days of relisting and delisting a ton of these old items, someone came, put this bundle together, and sent me an offer, and I was so ecstatic to accept it. There was a couple newer items thrown in here, but I was totally fine with it to move all these old pieces at once. I was so happy to have this sale, guys. Like, I ask myself, like, I don't know if I get happier about items I just picked up selling for a lot of money super fast, or the items that have been sitting for like 2 years finally selling for like $2 and just getting out of my house. Like, honestly, I think I'm equally happy because I'm just so happy when the old stuff is gone. Anyways, the next sale was another bins pickup. These Karl Lagerfeld black patent leather heels. They didn't sell for a lot, but this was like my first time picking up this brand in shoes. And usually I feel like heels sit for a long time, but these I got an offer of $20 in like 2 weeks or so, and I was super happy to sell them for that. So I made about $16 after Poshmark fees, and they cost me like $1 at the bins. So I was totally fine with that $15 profit. The next item is a J-Gel Silk Cashmere Blend cardigan. I love picking up J-Gel. Definitely a brand I wish I would have known about when I first started reselling. So if you're new, here you go. You're already off to a better start than me. J-Gel is a great brand, especially if you look for the bigger sizes and you look for nicer quality materials like this silk cotton cashmere blend. Definitely the kind of J-Gel piece to keep an eye out for. I could have gotten more for this, but like I said, I love to move things quickly, and I'm always open to accepting offers. Times are hard, guys. Inflation is literally insane right now. So when I get an offer, I kind of think about the person, like if it was me sending the offer, maybe that's all that's in their budget. And so I kind of keep those things in mind when accepting offers, and I'd rather move the piece than like not. So as long as it's reasonable, I will take the offer usually. So keep that in mind. If you want to shop my closet or my store, I am definitely willing to negotiate. This sold in less than 24 hours. This was my first time ever finding Skims. I found this at the bins. You could barely read this, but I could tell it said Skims, and just from like the material and stuff, I figured that's what it was. It sold for $20 on Poshmark. I believe that was my full asking price. Okay, let's get into the worst sales. This one is a little surprising. I've had this for almost a year, I want to say, and I actually paid up for this. I believe I paid about $5 for this at a regular Goodwill, back when I thought Zara was like super great. And Zara's not bad, and it was 100% linen. So I don't really know what went wrong here. I think maybe I needed to take measurements or something, or maybe just use more keywords or something. I'm not sure. But this sat for almost a year. I think that it was just relisted using Posture VA, and I got an offer on it for $10, and I accepted, even though that means that I only made like a $2 profit. I'm just happy to see it out the door. I don't like things sitting for a year, 2 years, 3 years. That's just too long for me. I'm just ready to move the item at that point. Unless it's something like extremely high end, I guess. But I'm mostly picking up bread and butter mid-tier brands. This is another not so great sale. I have had this for such a long time. Oh my gosh. This is back when I would just pick up random purses. I didn't even know what they were at the bins. And I wouldn't check any comps on them or anything because I wasn't even selling on eBay at that point. So I didn't really know how to check comps. I don't feel like personally like checking on Poshmark is a good way to check comps. A lot of people when they first start out, first of all, they make the mistake of only looking at what things are listed for, which is definitely not a good way to check comps. And then at the same time, or they look at what's sold, but you can't see on Poshmark how many are listed versus how many are sold. So you can't tell if something has a 5% sell-through rate or a 500% sell-through rate, really. So that's why personally I love checking comps on eBay, and I always list my items first on eBay and then I cross-list to the other platforms. Okay, the next item, these would have been a good pickup if they weren't flawed. These are some Levi's 501 shorts. These were in my death pile for a while, and I finally got around to listing some of it like last week. Oh, here, I think this picture would show you better. They had a rip and somebody had already patched it on the inside, but I just thought it didn't really look that great. So I sold them super cheap. I listed them for $7.99, and I think somebody sent me an offer for like $6, and I accepted it. And they actually still sold really fast. Like they sold the same day. So maybe I was overthinking the flaw and it wasn't that big of a deal. But I was just happy to move them because, like I said, they'd been in my death pile for a while. All right, the next item is this buy together, kind of like slouchy, slinky top. I've had this for probably about 9 months or so. I'm not sure. I had picked up a sweater by this brand at the bins, and the sweater sold super fast. So then I saw this top a little while later, and I thought it would do well too, but it just didn't. And I received an offer recently, I think for $5.99 a couple days ago, and I just accepted it to get it out the door. Okay, and the last sale, the worst of all, Sperry's. I never pick up Sperry boat shoes like this anymore. Definitely an old pickup for me, just from the photos. This was when I was in a totally different room, so I can tell you I have had these for probably 2 years or so. They were women's size 6. Maybe that didn't help. I mean, they really weren't in that bad of condition or anything. These have been listed a long time. The price has been dropped over and over when I would do bulk edit the listing price and drop prices on everything in my closet. I did that a few weeks on closet clear out days. And so yeah, these were literally listed for only $4. I think Posture VA must have relisted and them recently, and they finally sold. I actually think they might have been listed for like 6 or 5 or something, and someone sent me an offer for it, and I just took it. I was just happy to have them gone. I made $1 on them, so I made back most of my cost of goods, and I don't have to look at them any longer and regret purchasing them. So yeah, that is all for this week's What Sold video. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel so you can see more of my reselling content, and be blessed.